Hello and welcome to Good Evening Britain, a Force for Good's weekly show coming to you live from our studios here in the heart of the great British city of Glasgow, with me, your host, Alston McConaughey. We're broadcasting on all our digital platforms throughout the United Kingdom and across the world. We're bringing you quality, pro-UK comment and analysis every Wednesday from 7 until 8 p.m. on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter and on TikTok. Folks, please do send in your comments and your questions and your greetings and tell us where you are watching from, because this is the show where we are British, we love the United Kingdom and we want to stay together. And goodness knows that is so important in this day and age, because we recognise that we are in a battle for the hearts and minds and souls of all of the people of the United Kingdom. So please join us, please join our efforts, and please do smash that thumbs up button if you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook. Those are the ways that these platforms are alerted to the fact that we're broadcasting and start to push it out to other people. If you're watching on X, please do give us a repost, and please do give us a quote repost. And if you do a quote repost, then we can retweet you to 28,000 people. And folks, we're also on YouTube. We're monetized now. We're monetized, so please do send in a super chat if you would like as well, because every little bit helps, that's for sure. Thanks to folks on TikTok who are coming in. Now, tonight we have got a guest at the bottom of the hour. It's the one and only Niall Fraser. He's going to be with us for 20 minutes from 7:30 onwards. Looking forward to speaking with Niall. He's always got a lot to say, and we're going to be talking about what on earth is going on with Humza Yousaf and his unfortunate family connections in Dundee. So we're going to be looking at that with Niall. Prior to that, though, we're going to be looking at the news coming out of Holyrood and also, of course, coming out of Westminster. Coming out of Holyrood, you will be delighted to know that the MSPs have awarded themselves another massive salary. So we're going to be looking at just who is responsible for awarding those salaries to themselves. We've got the names and we've got the pictures of the MSPs who decide, and it will surprise you and amaze you when we show you who they are. We're also going to be talking briefly about Alba's MP, who made an effort in the House of Commons yesterday to bring forth a ridiculous bill and failed. We're going to be looking at that. We're also going to have some time perhaps to touch on the Rwanda bill, which is going through tonight, and we're also going to be looking at the some research that came out yesterday, or was it on Monday, about the number of people in the United Kingdom who want an end to mass immigration. Some very interesting stats came out of that report, and we'll be looking at that as well. So, good to see everybody on TikTok. If you are a Unionist, please do tell us that you're a Unionist on TikTok. Send us some Union Jack flags and some thumbs up. And if you want to break up our fantastic United Kingdom, then please explain to us why on earth you would want to do something as sad as that. Okay, folks, please do tell us on TikTok. Some comments in this live TikTok were filtered to protect the community's experience. Well, folks, please don't swear on TikTok. I think the TikTok algorithm automatically filters your comments. So if you've got something to say on TikTok, please do say it in the Queen's English, or rather the King's English. Thank you very much. Okay, let's say hello to some people who have come in on our show. Great to see Derek first in. Good evening to Alistair and the AFFG family. Surprised about the news coming out of Dundee. Hello to Christopher and to Stuart from Elgin and to Fraser from Johnston, the lovely town of Johnston in the west coast area of Scotland. Catherine Rainey says, good evening, fellow Unionists. As does Debbie, says, good evening, everyone. Stuart says, Humza will be all white on the night. TC wishes a good evening to Unionists everywhere. So yes, our guest is the one and only Niall Fraser, who always has a lot to say about the situation today in our country. He always has a lot to say about the situation today. Looking at comments on TikTok. A few comments there about Donald Trump for some reason, who is going to be the Republican candidate. Almost certainly. Now, let's begin by the news yesterday that MSPs are set for a pay increase in this year, after it was announced that their salaries would be boosted by almost 7%. The present MSP salary, would you believe, is £67,662 per year. Okay, that's a salary that not a single one of these people could ever find in the private sector if they were lucky enough to somehow get a job there. They would never come close to that kind of salary. Well, it's going to rise even higher, and it's going to rise up to over £72,000 from the 1st of April. So that's £72,000 to basically remain anonymous for 5 years and basically do nothing other than be a clapping seal in the backbenches and try to avoid getting caught by the Daily Record doing something that you shouldn't. It's easy money, okay? Very easy money. And so the question is, well, before I ask the question, the thing is, lots of the MSPs, especially in the SNP ranks, they get risen up to ministerial status. So if you are an SNP minister, you know, the minister for whatever thing that they dream up, basically, then you get an additional amount on your salary as well. That takes you close to 100,000. And I'm just going to check up on these figures, actually, because we did have those figures here, and I can, in fact, I'll just bring them up. I'll just load it into our thing here and show you, so we can just run down the incredible salaries that these people are getting. And that are set to rise even higher. And so we'll just wait for that to load. But before I look at the salaries, let's look at who is setting the salaries. Well, the salaries are set according to the law, which is the Scottish Parliament Salaries Scheme law. And in Section 8 of that, it states that the Parliament Corporation may, at such intervals as it deems appropriate, make arrangements to review and determine the salaries, and in consequence of a review shall determine the salaries payable. And so the question is asked, what is the Parliamentary Corporation? Well, it's also known as the Scottish Parliament Corporate Body. And Here's a pic of them. It's a 5-member. It's a 5-member body